Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. Today, I have some stamps. These are from HB Creates, and I will link all of the products that I can still find down below. The Amazon links are referral links, but the rest are just because I like to share other small shops. These are quotes from Etsy. I cannot remember the shop name, but I will link those down below as well. And then I have these evergreen trees, and I just liked the vibe. It was feeling a little bit cooler when I was doing this spread. Now it's back up to 90 degrees again, but I still really like this spread. So I have some inks, some stamp blocks, and some ink blenders. So I'm going to talk about what my plan is for the spread, and then I'll circle back and we'll talk about HB90 a little bit and my plan for the rest of this month and into the start of Q4. And then I'll also give a brief life update because life's been crazy. When isn't it? But life's been extra crazy. So the first thing that I want to do is create my background for these trees. And my thought was I would just take these two different color of distress inks and kind of smush them around down below and then use them as a background for my trees. I will say that this ends up being very blotchy, and that's just because the type of paper that I'm using. I can't remember. I think I have just fresh sheets of paper. Instead of decorating this on an already decorated page, I think that I went ahead and just grabbed 2 new weekly sheets so that I didn't have to worry about bleed through if there was any. That is one of the benefits of having undated pages that I print myself at home, and one of the reasons why I enjoy that. If I were to mess this spread up, I could just throw it away and start over. If I had something on the back, I would just glue those pages together, and since they are undated, I wouldn't have to worry about messing up the rest of the pages coming up. I did go ahead and grab a mat so that it would be easier to load the ink onto my ink dauber. And I need to keep in mind that even if things aren't used, even if supplies aren't used, they start to go bad. So my ink is not as wet as it used to be. And things like washi tape, the washi tape, it can lose its stickiness or it can like overstick and stick to itself and you can't get it off the roll. So there's no reason to hoard my supplies. I might as well go ahead and use them. If I use them up, great. I can either purchase a replacement or I can just be done with it and maybe fill that space with something new to me. So I'm going to go ahead and get the ink down and then I will start dropping in my trees. I am going to just overlap the trees so that it looks like there is a forest at the bottom of the page. So, a quick life update. I have been in Boston for the last 7 days. We got back on Thursday. Yesterday, I just was trying to play catch up, get my laundry done, all of those things. So, there were no videos while I was gone. I just could not get ahead enough to have videos put out. I did take everything with me to Boston with the hopes that I would be able to either film or edit a video while I was there. But I was at the conference from 8 or 9 o'clock every morning until 5 o'clock every night. They usually had some sort of event afterwards each evening. And then by the time I got dinner and got back to my hotel, I was pretty much done and ready to go to bed and start over the next day. I did appreciate the break of just the normal routine day to day, so that was fun, and I did learn a ton. I was at the Splunk conference in Boston, so it was very enjoyable and I learned a lot. My brain is full. That was the other part. I really just couldn't come home back to the hotel and think anymore. So, not the most relaxing break or trip. It was definitely not a vacation. However, I learned a lot and I got a break from just the routine day to day at home. Also, for those of you who are interested in HB90, I did want to remind everyone that registration is open until noon on September 14th, which when I'm going to post this video versus when that closes, it'll be about 24 hours. In addition to the live kickoff call that happens on Sunday afternoon, she is also going to do a live co-working session in addition to all the videos that she has and lessons that she has put together for all of us, including new and alumni students. If you've never heard of HB90, the HB90 method is created by Sarra Cannon, and it's a 90-day goal planning system that helps you set realistic priorities, break big goals into manageable projects, and map out a schedule that actually works with your life. It's about focus, balance, and making real progress without all of the overwhelm. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, I will link the information down below so that you can dig into it a little bit more. I will also link my playlist down below because I love HB90. It's really changed the way that I plan. And the part that I have always been missing is planning around the time that I actually have. And she goes into great detail on that. So again, if you're interested, I'll link those things down below. I will be returning as an alumni. I think this will be my 5th go around with the course, and I can't speak more highly of it. If you are joining to follow along with the HB90, let me know down below. I'm very curious to see who all is involved in HB90. If you're not quite ready to make those decisions, I will be planning my Q4 right here and you can work alongside of me. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below and I will jump in and answer them as quickly as possible. So at this point, I'm about 10 to 15 minutes into putting ink down for my stickers. And although there are faster ways to get ink down on the page, they all include adding a bunch of water to the ink. And I didn't want to wet my page. I don't like when my page gets like warped from the water. And I don't use the most expensive paper because I don't plan on keeping my planners around forever. I do keep them just because I do YouTube and I like to reference them occasionally, but for the most part, I don't need to keep my planners. So I just use whatever paper I have. It is a little bit heavier than just normal copy paper, but again, I just did not want to add a lot of water to my page. And my plan is to just use all of the trees that I can for the page. I really like the trees and I like the ink, but I want there to be a good combination between the ink showing and what trees are showing. So I really want to layer up the trees. I have 2 sheets of trees, so I think that I will be able to make a good collage with them. I am also trying to make sure I don't go too far into that middle row so that I have plenty of space to write my tasks. I am sure there will be a lot of tasks that I need to accomplish this week, but I also need to keep in mind that I will be going into the office at least Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday this week, and I'm pretty sure that my kids have games on those same nights actually. So 3 of the nights I'm pretty sure my kids have games plus a game on Saturday. And my son and I might make a 3-hour trip to watch a soccer game of a college he's interested in. So we'll have to play that one by ear, but it will be another busy week. I did decide to only put 1 quote sticker in just so that the page didn't get too busy and there were still plenty of rooms for the lines I needed for my tasks. I do just need to keep in mind that I need to be realistic with how many tasks I can complete each day. So now I'm going to come back in and stamp the dates. I do like to have the dates on my page and I do not like my own handwriting. So normally I'm either putting stickers in or like today, I am going to stamp in those dates. And I'm just going to use the black ink so that everything looks cohesive. I could have also used the green stamp pads for this, but I did just want a black line. You can also color these in since they are open a little bit, so I could have added a little green there as well if I wanted to, but I liked the way they looked just stamped in black ink. My original thought for the other stamp pad was that I would just use the lines and stamp that in each box, but I decided there weren't quite enough lines and there wouldn't be enough space for me to write the things I needed to write. So I am going to grab my Chrissy Designs line stencil to draw in the lines like I normally do. Once I get these lines in, that will be the spread for the week. Coming up for the next 2 weeks, we'll be planning for Q4, and then Q4 starts on October 1st already. I am just in shock at how fast this year has gone. And if you're interested in the HB90 method or the course, I will link all that information down below, and I would love to see you in the course as well. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow we'll talk about Q4 planning. Monday we will set up our weekly action plan and get the week started off right. And then we will start setting up our plan for Q4. If you're interested in those videos, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.